Hello, welcome back to the channel, and we've got some breaking news. I think this is the first time in a long time I've done a non-short style video for breaking news, but I didn't have a video planned for tonight, and this worked out perfectly because I couldn't really make a video about Zion on here, but that stuff's wild. Go search up what's going on with him. Pretty interesting stuff. Unless you're young, then don't do that. But Chris Paul. 6 foot, 175, 38 years old. Still got a lot in his tank, I would think. Averaged 13.9 points, 4.3 boards, 8.9 assists on 44% shooting. One of the worst seasons he's had in a long time, but obviously he's really old. But he does like getting injured in playoff games. Yeah, I'm looking at it. This is like one of the lowest point totals he's had. But then again, he had a lot of assists, and he played on a pretty loaded team. Still averages a lot of good stats and will be a contributor for a big team. That's today's video. Which team needs him the most? Which teams fit him? If you're Chris Paul and you don't want to retire like this, go out sad, you want to get a ring, because he was even talking about like his kids getting bullied in school because your dad has no ring. That's tough. But what teams would make most sense for him? Number one, I think, is a clear favorite. Boston Celtics. Okay, this team needs a point guard bad. Not only do they need a point guard, they need veteran leadership. Okay, I know Chris Paul is kind of a whiny B word. Kind of does a lot of bad things. It's sneaky. He's called, dirty, whatever. But he's veteran leadership. He can hit shots. He's pretty clutch. That elbow jumper would go crazy. Little pick and roll action with Robert Williams. Absolutely love it, right? I think that fit makes a lot of sense. Another team that also needs a point guard, Toronto Raptors. Obviously not nearly as sexy, and they can get a guy in the draft to maybe address that, like Carson Wallace follows that far. Who knows? I don't think so, but, we never know in the draft. Looking at kind of just going, honestly, circling back to the Celtics, they need, again, veteran leadership, clutch shots. He does both. That pick and roll will be good. Even like kind of do a second unit thing. He can hit threes, not really like that. This is actually, I'm looking here, some of the most threes he shot outside of the D'Antoni years in Houston. This is the most threes he shot per game, 4.4, making 1.7, 37%, which is really good. So that's, again, another good thing. But just looking back now here at the list, what other teams need a point guard? Maybe the Nets, but this just doesn't really fit. Sixers, I think, could maybe do it. If Harden leaves especially, or even if Harden stays, kind of get those two back together with Embiid. That could be very interesting. Let Harden kind of more be of an off-ball shooter. Maybe I think it's a bit more that he wants. Get Chris Paul, run the offense, and kick it to Harden for some more open shots, which we saw a bit more success in with last year. Obviously, Daryl Morey's there. Daryl Morey traded for Chris Paul and wanted him in this organization. That could work. Could be pretty fun storyline for the NBA. Heat, maybe if they move on from Kyle Lowry, probably not though. Chicago Bulls, and some of these teams at the bottom, Orlando Magic actually can kind of work. I think, that younger team, good core, good veteran leadership, give them a good deal. That could work. Pistons, I could see it, right? With Monty Williams, if he liked Monty Williams, then that could work. Obviously, he was there pretty much the entire time Monty Williams was there. So that would be an interesting thing to see how that works out. Obviously, they were also together in OKC that year. So, no, they were not. Disregard that part. But now going over to the West, who would take him? Denver, no, they got Jamal Murray. Memphis, could you take in Chris Paul for a 1-year deal, pay him handsomely, have him play, because Ja's obviously going to be out for a long time, and not only that, you could have him mentor Ja. I think that'd actually be a great thing. That's actually, kind of makes sense. Kings, no. Suns, obviously not. Clippers, the John Wall experience did not work. The Russell Westbrook thing, Chris Paul would fit better than Russell Westbrook, but then again, Russell Westbrook has a higher usage percentage, and with how injured the Clippers' star two players always are, you probably want a guy that's more reliable and not as injury prone as Chris Paul has tended to be. Warriors, no. Lakers, this is the one you're going to see. Everyone's going to be like, Laker. I think it should be Celtic, but Laker, I guess, is the other one that would make a lot of sense, right? They don't really have a point guard here. He's better than Kyrie, I would say, potentially in terms of, facilitating the offense. Again, pick and roll with Anthony Davis would be disgusting. LeBron kind of move more off ball and not have to be as high usage, with his age increasing and him getting hurt a little bit more often now. We're seeing little chinks in the GOAT's armor. Timberwolves, really interesting one. I don't know Mike Conley's contract situation, but I wouldn't hate it if he ended up out there, help mentor some of the guys out there. OKC, go back to OKC. SGA's got a good thing going on there. He could make that work again potentially. I don't know if I see it as much. Pelicans is a really interesting one. They need a point guard bad. He could go in there and help with them. Him, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, help get Zion's head on straight after clearly doing some madness off the court. Blazers, no. Jazz, but Chris Paul in Utah kind of makes sense. Just like the whiny fan base, with him out there would make maybe a bit too much sense. Spurs, I would imagine at this stage in his career he's not going to want to settle for a rebuilding team. Houston, been there, done that. Another same thing as that. And then one team I skipped was the Mavericks. If you lose Kyrie, I think it works. If you keep Kyrie, I think it actually kind of works. Have Kyrie be more of a shooting guard, off-ball guard. You can run 2-point guards. You can never have too many ball handlers. If they think that LeBron would work, why would Chris Paul not work? Chris Paul loves passing the ball. Luka can kind of take some rest off. Obviously, Luka will be super ball dominant when he's on the floor, but I think Chris Paul could work with that. So I would think the Mavs would work. I would say if we're doing teams that make the most sense, number one, Celtics by a wide margin. After the Celtics, I would say, Celtics. Then I would say Grizzlies 2, Lakers 3, Sixers 4, Mavericks 5. That's my 5. Let me know down below what you think. I like the fit a lot on the Celtics or Grizzlies. I think it makes way too much sense for both teams. Also, no income tax in Tennessee, so you'd get that full salary of whatever minimum maybe he's getting, whatever he thinks, or mid-level exception. Probably he's got his name written over it for all these contending teams. So that's what I got for now. Let me know down below what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you think these are some teams he should go after? And how good is he going to look in that Celtics green or that Memphis teal jersey? Why not? I don't even know if they wear that anymore. But yeah, that's all I got for now. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace.